So here we are back in Utica, New York. First overnight here since March 16th. So what's left of the old studio. And, you know, all I can say is, I didn't think I was going to win. Feels like something may be loose in there. And if so, it will help me make a decision, because I have to make a decision in reference to these. Marx Toys.
Ash, can you see this?
Yeah, it's loose. How about that? Decision made. Lunar Exploration Miniature Playset. Ugh. And if it looks familiar, it's because I had one. Well, I've had one since last year. And here's a new example. You can see if it's got a tab of tape, which my prior example had. Both were sold to me as mint in box examples, but I could tell from the pictures online that they had been opened, and because I'm familiar with the other set and having opened it many times, I decided it was okay to do this, otherwise I wouldn't be messing with it. And I got my space tank. Loose. I wanted one loose. So it was gonna be, you know, which one am I gonna untie? And guess what? I don't have to do it at all. So we get, this is a adapted Patton tank body. It's actually whiter than the one I'd had before, which definitely has some fading to its printing as well. There's no fading to this printing, or very minimal. And we got 3 astronauts, 3 reduced sized Operation Moonbase astronauts painted, and an array of small craters. Having trouble making words because I'm just like, oh, okay, well, guess what? I don't have to make a decision on it. I got my tank loose. I don't know if I need the figures loose. Example number 2. I'm not sure how many variations on it they made. I know I've seen a third vehicle because I lost an auction for it as a loose piece about 2 weeks ago. It was in a lot of other loose pieces from these sets, and it was a highly contested auction. Apollo Lunar Landing Miniature Plus, a very different box design. Or at least box printing design. And I was looking at this online thinking, it looks like a camping playset. But let's gently slide it out. And again, we're going to look to see if there's tape or one side that's obviously been opened. Little ding right there. Listen, that they're in this good shape at all is miraculous. They're welcome to be what they want. Or what they are. Excellent early lunar module design. So maybe the graphics were designed somewhere before 1969? Something like that. Let's ogle it here for a minute. That just really is sweet. By the time it was first test flown on Apollo 5, they knew they didn't need a second round docking hatch and adopted the square door to save weight. That's fun. Awesome designs. Awesome graphics. Saturn V. Hand decorated by artists at Marx. There's even some sort of a stock number there. Let's look up here at the corner. 1970 is somewhat later than I would have thought these had been produced, but that's what's there. Distributed by Marx Toys Company Incorporated. That's the other one. One of the things about the Moon Tank is that it's completely unique to this toy line. As for the Space Camper, it's a smaller version of one of their hill climbing moon train vehicles, which I didn't bring. That's back in Syracuse. We'll compare it to them later.
I want to live a close street life.
I question the green. It's like a camping scene. There's a boulder, I guess, of two halves glued together, and then the craters and a pile of rocks. 3 more Operation Moonbase astronauts painted. There's a regular size Operation Moonbase astronaut. I painted him orange to go with my orange spacesuit thing. But you can see how he's been downsized. Let's take another look here at this miraculous space tank. Compare it to the design of the other. Yeah, I guess it's the same. It's just isn't as yellow. And it has an operator. It's Bez from the Happy Mondays driving a space tank. Doot 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 doot. Tooling around the moon. Very similar to the Operation Moonbase vehicles, and then it's just a plastic shell with 2 small axles on it. And I'm going to have a little bit of fun using that tank and some of my own diorama art, and you can see there how the pop-up folded cornering of the little diorama stage they have works. And it's at an angle. It's hard to see this way, but it's actually at an angle, so if you're looking at it straight on, it's raised in the back.
I've never seen anything like it.
That set doesn't have a date on it, but I would presume that they were manufactured at or about the same time. With the one with the space tank, maybe a little bit earlier, because it doesn't have the Apollo logo on it. Then again, maybe they told Marx to get rid of it. A little bit of aging there in his leg. For whatever reason, they did not make a downsized version of him for Mystery Spaceship or Space Ranger. Kind of funny, that's sort of the color that I had gotten at, sort of a salmon orange. And I'd washed him off of the dude that I'd painted for want of a more orangey orange. Look at those craters, those are awesome. Yeah, and sharp eyes will notice gobs of dried excess adhesive around their bases from being glued down. Kind of a bummer. Of course, the vehicle paint wearing off the sides. I could gently restore that, but I don't think I'm just not gonna touch it. Oh, that side's intact. Pristine. But I've, yeah, I bet that's been retied. Yeah, bingo. Black sewing thread is not correct. Marx factory material. All of the figures on the 2 new sets and the craters have all been retied. The craters on all of them have been reglued except for one, and the figures on the camping set have all been glued down as well. That's what's left of the original tie down for the space tank there, that brownish bit of thread, and I'm actually kind of glad that it failed. It had not been untied by a prior owner. It just gave up on its own, possibly even during shipment.
These are the same three dudes. Yep. Rock, jump, visor adjustment, and point. Rock, jump, visor adjustment, and point. And so there's the example that it had previously up top. And those are the factory, that's the factory twine color.
So somewhere in the 50 years that these have been in existence, the figures were untied from their bases. Apparently a collector decided that wasn't the best thing. They tried tying them down with a black sewing thread. They also added a reinforcement to the base that's stapled in place. And then I guess that wasn't good enough, so they also glued the figures on the Space Camper set in place, and all but one crater on both sets in place, which is unfortunate because there's going to be no way to remove those without damaging the printing. So those are going to stay as is for now.
Yeah, this edition here is a piece of cardboard that somebody stapled on to help with the structure of it. No doubt. This one that one has it too. But my older one does not. So, collector tried to do some renovation and shore it up for collectability, and they're still gorgeous. I'm stoked. And there's our space tank. Revolving bubble dome. It's held in place by a simple peg. Glued down to the bottom. Radar dish, basically the same deal, although it does not seem to wish to pivot. Let's look at this control panel. Oh, he's fantastic. This one's got the same paint scheme decoration to it, but has been yellowed by exposure to sunlight, probably sitting in a collector's shelf for many years. Dude, I got my space tank. How long did I want one of these things for? Loose, and there it is. The decision was even made for me. I'm gonna very carefully package these all back up. Hit up the hand sanitizer after opening the box. And start cleaning the heck out of this studio. Well, I gotta be out of here by September 1st. And I make it happen.